has the authority to rename a national monument? A federal judge just issued a definitive answer regarding one of Washington's most iconic arts institutions.
Good morning. It's Saturday, May 30th. Today we'll explore that story and more to help you get up to speed on the essential and the interesting. Let's get started.
First up, we begin with a major legal setback for the administration at the Kennedy Center. A federal judge ruled that President Donald Trump's name was added to the Kennedy Center illegally, ordering its removal. The court also blocked the venue's planned 2-year closure for renovations. In response, President Trump stated he will work to transfer control of the Performing Arts Center to Congress, effectively stepping back from his previous plans to oversee its overhaul. To understand how this situation escalated into a full-blown legal battle, it helps to look at the power struggle that has been unfolding behind the scenes. Reporting from the Washington Post reveals that the conflict began in December when Representative Joyce Beatty, an ex officio member of the board, filed suit after she was allegedly muted during a virtual meeting where trustees voted to rename the institution. The court found that the board's subsequent move to strip ex officio members of their voting rights was unlawful, further undermining the administration's recent changes. The legal fight also highlights a divide over the building's physical condition. Matt Floca, the center's executive director, has testified that the facility faces significant safety risks, including failing structural panels and water damage, arguing that a 2-year closure is necessary. However, preservationists point out that prior to President Trump's sudden announcement of the closure in February, the center had been developing plans to conduct repairs while remaining open. Beyond the courtroom, the institution is grappling with internal instability. Since President Trump took over as board chair in early 2025, the center has seen a wave of layoffs, the departure of the Washington National Opera after a 55-year residency, and the cancellation of major productions like Hamilton. While the center's leadership contends that President Trump's involvement is vital for fundraising, claiming he has already secured millions in private donations, critics argue the recent leadership style has damaged the institution's operations and community trust. For now, the future of the center remains in limbo as the board considers its next steps in light of the judge's ruling.
Exploration is a high-stakes endeavor where the line between progress and a major setback can be measured in a single explosive moment. A Blue Origin New Glenn rocket exploded during a ground test at Cape Canaveral on Thursday night. No injuries were reported, but the incident marks a significant setback for the company's launch schedule and its role in NASA's lunar missions. Blue Origin is now investigating the cause of the explosion, while officials have issued warnings regarding potential debris in the area. So what does this mean for the future of American space exploration? To understand the stakes, it helps to look at the broader landscape of the lunar program. Reporting from the Washington Post explains that the New Glenn rocket was considered a vital alternative to SpaceX's Starship, providing the redundancy needed to ensure the U.S. could return humans to the moon before the end of President Donald Trump's second term. Garrett Reisman, a former NASA astronaut and professor at the University of Southern California, notes that the loss of this option leaves the government and consumers increasingly reliant on SpaceX. The impact also extends to the private sector. The rocket was slated to carry 48 satellites for Amazon, a project intended to help the company compete in the satellite internet market. Now, Blue Origin faces a daunting recovery process. Experts suggest that rebuilding the launch pad could take months or potentially more than a year, depending on the extent of the damage to the site. This incident has drawn comparisons to the 1969 explosion of the Soviet N-1 rocket, with analysts highlighting the sheer volume of fuel involved. While Blue Origin is currently investigating the cause of the anomaly, the setback complicates the timeline for the Artemis lunar missions. With both Blue Origin and SpaceX already facing scheduling challenges, the prospect of landing humans on the moon by 2028 now appears significantly more difficult. Todd Harrison, a senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, suggests that if these delays persist, the project could lose the necessary political support required to keep the mission on track.
When the conflict in Ukraine crosses a border into Nato territory, the rules of engagement change. How will the alliance respond to this latest escalation? A Russian drone hit an apartment building in NATO member Romania early Friday, injuring 2 people. The strike occurred during an attack on Ukraine, prompting strong condemnation from NATO and the US. In response, Romania is closing a Russian consulate, while officials consider invoking NATO consultations regarding the security of the alliance. So, how exactly is the international community responding to this breach of NATO territory? Reporting from The Guardian helps fill in the picture. The alliance is emphasizing its commitment to collective defense, with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte stating that the organization is ready to defend every inch of its territory. In Romania, officials are taking concrete steps to address the security threat. The government has convened an emergency meeting of its Supreme Council of National Defense and summoned the Russian ambassador. Beyond the diplomatic fallout, Romania is pressing NATO to accelerate the delivery of anti-drone technology. There is also talk of triggering Article 4 of the NATO treaty, a move that would initiate formal consultations among member states regarding the security risks posed by this incident. While the Romanian military confirmed that radar tracked the drone before it struck a residential building in the city of Galați, officials are carefully navigating the implications. General Georg Maxim, a stand-in commander for the Romanian Armed Forces, clarified that the strike was not classified as a direct attack by Russia against Romania, though he warned that Russia remains a clear threat to regional security. Meanwhile, the narrative from Moscow remains dismissive. Russian President Vladimir Putin suggested the drone may have been a stray Ukrainian weapon and requested that the wreckage be handed over for a Russian-led investigation. This response stands in sharp contrast to the condemnation from leaders like European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, who noted that Russia's actions have crossed yet another line. As the war in Ukraine continues to intensify, this incident highlights the growing concern that the conflict is increasingly spilling beyond Ukraine's borders, threatening the stability of the wider region.
How much do you really know about the industrial facilities operating in your own neighborhood? A recent crisis in California is prompting a national conversation. Garden Grove, California is returning to normal after a week-long chemical crisis. Authorities have lifted all evacuation orders for the 50,000 residents displaced by a failing storage tank at a GKN aerospace facility. The tank, which held methyl methacrylate, had been at risk of a catastrophic explosion. While the immediate danger has passed, the company now faces more than 40 lawsuits and an expanding criminal investigation into the incident.
What happens when you throw a birthday party for the country, but the guests of honor refuse to show up? Nearly all musical acts scheduled for the Great American State Fair in Washington, D.C., have withdrawn from the event. The concert series, organized by the group Freedom 250, is part of the Trump administration's upcoming celebration of America's 250th anniversary. Artists including Martina McBride, Bret Michaels, and Morris Day pulled out shortly after the initial lineup announcement. Many of the performers cited concerns about being misled regarding the nature of the event or expressed a desire to avoid political involvement.
And finally, can a studio use artificial intelligence to speed up the animation process without alienating the very creators who define the industry? Emmy-winning animator Jorge R. Gutierrez has withdrawn from a planned Prime Video series titled Punky Duck. The project was part of a new initiative from Amazon MGM Studios and Amazon Web Services called the Gen AI Creators Fund. This program aims to support filmmakers by providing access to an in-house artificial intelligence platform known as Project Nara. Gutierrez announced his departure just 2 days after the company unveiled the fund and its first 3 greenlit animated series, citing intense criticism from the industry.
That concludes today's briefing. We appreciate you trusting the start your day. We'll return tomorrow for comprehensive